Ready to go?
At Metro Transit, we are. With more routes to more places, easy ways to pay, and more convenient options, we're ready to go further. Go easier. Go faster. Go, go, go.
And go.
We're ready to go. Are you?
It's Not Your Fault is a podcast for parents, caregivers, and young people navigating the world and its challenges. Here's your host, Brandon Jones.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to another installment of It Is Not Your Fault, a teen mental health podcast. I am your host, Brandon Jones, and on today's episode, we are kicking off, not, I shouldn't say kicking off, we're continuing on the series that we started a few weeks ago around the circle of courage and working with quote unquote at risk youth. If you remember from that episode, if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to go back and check it out. I introduced this concept from the book, Circle of Courage. And this book is something that I read years ago, over 10 years ago, when I was getting my second master's degree. And Circle of Courage was about reclaiming youth at risk. The title of it is Reclaiming Youth at Risk, Our Hope for the Future. And it's based out of Native American philosophy. And they created this Circle of Courage model. And what I want to do for the podcast is create a series of episodes that looked at each one of the areas and why they're important when it comes to young people. Now, every youth is not at risk, but these are four critical areas to help with the mental and emotional well-being of the children that we care about. And I want to share this message and encourage you all to read this book. You may be wondering at this point, what are the four areas, Brandon? The four areas of the Circle of Courage model are this: belonging, which is the need to form close relationships and to be a part of a community. Two, mastery is the drive to achieve competence and solve problems. Three, independence, the development of personal power and responsibility. And four, generosity, the desire to contribute to others and find purpose. It's interesting when I hear those and I read those and think about those and how much influence this book has been in my own career. Remember reading this, like I said, back in grad school, which led to a lot of my thinking around developing curriculum, working with young people, building programs, something that I've done all across the country. This book had a tremendous impact on my vision, on my thinking, and on the well-being of so many children, I'm sure, through the things that we've been able to accomplish through my work and working with others with like minds. So, again, I want to take some time and focus on one of the areas for each of the next few episodes. So, buckle up. We're going to walk through this framework together. Again, there is an introductory episode already out there. Highly encourage you to go back and watch it if this is your first time watching the podcast. And if this is your first time watching the podcast, of course, we want you to subscribe. We want you to like the video, or just like it on whatever app you're listening to audio wise. And we want to keep you engaged and keep you coming back. So let's get into the first area. The first area that we are going to focus in on is belonging. Belonging is the heartbeat of adolescent well-being. Belonging is the heartbeat of adolescent well-being. So the groundbreaking book, Reclaiming Youth at Risk by Bentiro, Brokenleg, and Van Bacheren, the authors introduced the concept of Circle of Courage. The model built on four universal human needs: belonging, mastery, independence, and generosity. Of these of these things, belonging stands out as the foundation. Belonging is the heartbeat of adolescent mental health. But what is belonging? Belonging is the innate human need to connect with others, to feel loved, accepted, and valued within a group. For adolescents who are in the throes of identity formation and social development, belonging is not optional, it's vital. When young people experience meaningful relationships with family, peers, and supportive adults, they begin to see themselves as worthy and capable members of a community. Research also backs this up. For those of you who've seen older episodes that I've covered, or maybe you're familiar with something called adverse childhood experiences, we know through trauma research and resiliency research that the key to resilience is connection. And the key to connection for children is one healthy adult. If they have one healthy or adult that they deem to be safe, children do far better than children that don't. So we know that relationships are very important. And what we're concluding here is the reason for that is this concept of belonging. Do children belong? You will be surprised how many children feel like they don't have a place to call their own, a place to call home, a place where they feel quote unquote comfortable. You will be very surprised to know that there are a lot of children who are suffering in silence and they don't feel safe, comfortable, and they don't have trust anywhere that they are. And that's unfortunate, but it is a reality for many of our youth. The Circle of Courage draws upon indigenous philosophies and contemporary resilience science to affirm that the emotional growth is stunted when the children feels isolated. So when young people feel isolated, their growth becomes stunted. But it flourishes when they have a securely when they've been securely bonded to other people. So when they have a secure bond, young people can flourish and move forward and go very far in their lives. Why belonging matters to adolescents. Adolescence is a turbulent development stage marked by physical, emotional, and social change. You've heard me say that a lot. During this time, youth are naturally drawn to relationships beyond their families, searching for peer groups and identities all the time. They're trying to figure out where they fit in, how they fit in, why they fit in, mentors, and some communities that reflect their emerging identities. Without a strong sense of belonging, teens are at risk of developing five things. Here you go. You ready? Without strong sense of belonging, teens are at risk of developing low self-esteem, social withdrawal, depression and anxiety symptoms, aggression and disruptive behaviors, and they are more likely to be susceptible, or susceptibility is the big fancy word, to be in gangs and or cliques or risky peer groups, which means they're going to be involved with some people they probably shouldn't be involved with, doing some things they probably shouldn't be doing. But that belonging piece is key because what a lot of young people are trying to do is figure out, where do they fit in? Get in where you fit in. You may have heard that term before. This is what these young people are actively attempting to do. Conversely, when adolescents experience belonging, research shows that they are more likely to improve in four areas. What are those areas of improvement? One is performing better in school, developing resiliency, engaging in pro social behaviors, which means that they're being quality young people, respectful, having manners, engaging, volunteering, supporting one another, advocating. That's what we want from our kids. Belonging is so important. They experience greater emotional regulation and self worth as well. There are so many young people that do not believe in themselves. They don't believe in their self worth. They don't believe in their parents. They don't believe in their communities. Sometimes they don't even believe in their ethnicity or race. A lot of that goes back to the belonging. So let's talk a little bit about what parents can do because that's what this podcast is. This is another installment of It Is Not Your Fault, a teen mental health podcast. So, what can parents do? Parents have to do their best to create a sense of belonging that isn't about helicopter parenting or trying to force adolescents to be close to you or anyone else. You can't do that, right? It's all about authentic connection. I always talk about authentic rapport, authentic rapport, authentic rapport. At this point, I should probably trademark it because I'm one of the few people who talks about authentic rapport. You gotta be culturally affirming. That is very important in today's world where we have so many different identities that show up for young people. You have to be accurate on the culture. Who are they? How are they? And then unconditional regard. Unconditional regard. You may be wondering, what does that mean, Brandon? Unconditional regard means that you respect and show up and you're consistent and you're intentional in these young people's lives, no matter what or how they do things. That can be hard because sometimes these kids can get on your nerves. They can drive you crazy. Let's be honest. They can drive you crazy. But when you show up for them, when you respect them, when it's not always negative energy, when you explain the discipline that you may have to give a child, They respect that, and it shows that unconditional regard. Do your best to do that. So let's talk about some ways to close out today's podcast, how we can do these things. Show up consistently is number one. Be emotionally and physically present. Adolescents may act like they don't need you, but your consistency sends a message that you matter to me and I'm not going anywhere. Number two, create safe emotional spaces. Invite conversations about feelings, identity, life struggles without judgment. Avoid the urge to fix or minimize what's going on for people. Sometimes the most healing thing you can say is, I'm here and I hear you. I'm here and I hear you. Celebrate their identity. Affirm who they are becoming, especially in racially, culturally, gender, or even neurodivergent identities. Understand who these young people are and don't be afraid to let them know that you realize it and that you will respect who they are, even if you don't agree with their choices. Sometimes you just have to respect them. Let them know that they don't have to change who they are to earn your love and acceptance. Number four, encourage community involvement. Help them find spaces where they can build healthy relationships with extended family members, cultural groups, clubs, sports, faith-based communities, etc. Belonging multiplies when it's supported across environments. It's important that we have our kids engaged in as much as we can. I know things are expensive. It's hard time-wise, especially if you have more than one kid. But if you get them connected to as many things as possible, that is a big help. Kids who are just idle on those screens all day, they're getting connected, but not in a way that you would want them to be socially connected. So make sure you're kind of helping, you're co-piloting the socialization of your child. Model vulnerability and connection. Let your teens see you seek support, sharing your emotions and being a part of your own community. Show them that belonging is a lifelong human need and not a sign of weakness. So they need to know that you're connected with people as well. And then lastly, repair disconnection. Conflict happens. Okay, conflict happens. Conflict, I'm gonna say that one time. Conflict happens. What matters the most is repair. Apologize when needed, reaffirm the relationships, and demonstrate love. Demonstrate that love doesn't disappear when mistakes happen. Love does not disappear when mistakes happen. Final thoughts on this. In a world where many adolescents feel like outsiders, whether it's due to trauma, identity struggles, or societal pressures, the concept of belonging offers a lifeline. As Reclaim Your Youth reminds us, young people thrive when they are seen, valued, and connected. So when we create homes, schools, and community that center belonging, we aren't just preventing harm, we're cultivating hope. This is my message to you today. Try to cultivate as much hope as you can with the young people that are around you. They need it and they deserve it. That's today's episode. Once again, I am Brandon Jones. This is It Is Not Your Fault, a teen mental health podcast. There's 3 ways that you can be connected to myself and to the collective here. The folks that I belong to here. The first way is on the Facebook group. Just go ahead and search It Is Not Your Fault podcast in the search bar on Facebook and find us. Go ahead and like us. You can find quality information like this and other things there. If you want to get connected with me on a one-on-one basis or learn more about my work, you can go to my personal website. That's www.jegna.org. That's jegna.org, jegna.org. And if you like anything that I said, you're probably going to like some of the other podcasters that we have on our network. That network is ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. Again, ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. Check us out. That's all I got for you today, folks. Looking forward to continuing on this framework and covering the other 3 areas over the next 3 episodes. So definitely stay tuned. Until then, be safe, be constructive, be well, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.
To check out previous episodes of It's Not Your Fault or to learn more about Brandon Jones, log on to ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.
You know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African-American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast-quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.
When I was introduced to Bremer, I really appreciated it. It was more of a relationship. The support that we have in project-based lending, it's emboldening us to go after larger projects. That is a game changer for a small business. The resources and the support from Bremer Bank is exciting that I could stay with them forever. Sometimes when you're working with bankers, they relish the fact of saying no. With Bremer, it's like they're finding a way to say yes.
To keep my home running smooth, I count on Xfinity Internet. With 99.9% reliability, we're all online at once. No slowdowns. The Xfinity app lets me manage our Wi-Fi and keep things secure. Xfinity makes it easy.